everyone, how's it going? I already know when I'm thinking about the title of this video that I'm gonna get a lot of dislikes, but hopefully you'll watch and hear me out here. So I played the Battlefield 6 beta extensively. I reached level 20, which is the cap. I unlocked all the challenges, did all the exclusive stuff I could, all the class things, repair, I think it was 1,000,000 points or 100,000 points of damage with engineer, revive 100 people, kill 50 people with the assault class, and so forth. But it's a really good beta, and even though we don't know anything about Black Ops 6, I'm almost expecting it just to be, the same Call of Duty game we've already played. I mean, Battlefield 6 basically is just Battlefield 3, 4, or 5. Like, if you were to tell me this was a remaster of any of those three games, even Bad Company 2, I would believe that. I would be like, they could literally have called this Battlefield Bad Company 2 remake, and I think a lot of people would have bought it. They literally just went backwards and said, okay, let's do what works, and it works. Like, the game is fun. Granted, there are a lot of problems they do still need to resolve, such as skill making issues and stuff like that. Matchmaking has a problem, but I'll probably do a whole review on that. But overall, I was happy with what was delivered. They gave a sizable amount of content. They showed us what they're expecting to deliver. Hopefully the final product is a reflection of what we got here, and they do resolve a lot of issues and the game doesn't crash on day one. I'm expecting that because of the amount of people who are playing this game, but on console, at least for me, I played it on Xbox, I didn't have that many issues getting into the game. I know on PC was a different story. A lot of people had to wait like 10-20 minutes just to get in, but that's PC. There were significantly more people I would expect on PC than on Xbox or PlayStation. But regardless, it was a fun beta. Now, when it comes to Call of Duty, a lot of people have posted memes, including myself, of how this is going to be the Call of Duty killer. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Call of Duty is still going to surpass Battlefield. Now, whether it surpasses Battlefield this year, that's left in the air, because right now we are seeing that Call of Duty is suffering from reputational damage. We've seen that with the skins such as the Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj, Seth Rogen, recently with American Dad with Klaus, Roger, and Stan Smith. Even though I think Stan Smith actually fits with Call of Duty's themes, he is a CIA agent. But regardless, a lot of people are fed up with the Fortnite-ification of Call of Duty. That's been happening for the last 10 years, but right now it's more in our face than it's ever been before. They're more focused on monetization and free-to-play mechanics than the actual game, whereas with Battlefield Studios and EA, they decided, you know what, people like Battlefield 4, 5, 3, Bad Company, let's just do that again, and it's resonating very well. The other thing that I really think that Call of Duty will still succeed on is the back catalog. This is something that a lot of people don't talk about. They always look at new games and say, okay, this is going to succeed, it's going to be great. A lot of people still play older Call of Duty games. Like, I was surprised when I played Infinite Warfare last year that there's still a large amount of people still playing that game. Same thing for Call of Duty Ghost, the original Modern Warfare. Like, a lot of people still play these games, and it's understandably why they do. Not on PC. PC, you basically risk getting your information stolen, getting a virus, all that stuff. It was so bad that Microsoft literally had to take it off their Xbox platform, the PC platform, in order to just resolve this issue on Steam. Good luck. I would recommend you do not play a Call of Duty game unless it's a modern, recently released Call of Duty game on Steam ever, or you're risking losing your computer to viruses, to ransomware, all of that. Just don't risk it. But yeah, when it comes to back catalog of games, Call of Duty has a lot of games, and they sell these almost like Nintendo does, with a full price. No, they never get the lower to below. Like, the lowest I've seen a Call of Duty game, at least on Xbox, is $10. That was always during like huge amount of sales, but they always bounce back to full $60-$70 price tags. And especially on Steam, a lot of people complain about this. They're selling a 10-year-old game like Call of Duty Black Ops for $60 still, and a lot of people are just like, why the heck are they still doing this? And they're pulling the Nintendo philosophy on that. But regardless, the back catalog of Call of Duty games is so rich and colorful that a lot of people still play those games and likely will buy them if they like the current games so much. Yeah, as opposed to Battlefield, where 2042, I believe, came out 4 years ago. Like, we've had 4 Call of Duty games since then. So in terms of just net sales, Call of Duty will remain dominant no matter what. Well, whether Battlefield 6 succeeds Call of Duty Black Ops 7, that is left in the air, because most importantly, it is a matter of just the casual market. I hate to say that, I'm a hardcore gamer, but the casual market does matter a lot. A lot of people can't afford games as they used to. Look at the price of the Nintendo Switch. The PlayStation 5 went up in prices in different regions of the world. Microsoft re-released their Xbox Series S and X with a new price tag of $600. Like, everything got expensive. Like, when they're raising the prices of old tech, like this tech is like 2-3 years old, and they're raising the price. They raised the price of the Nintendo Switch 1. That's just put into perspective how bad things are getting. And when it comes to people nowadays, they usually will buy whatever their friends are buying, whatever they know they're going to at least enjoy. And for most people, it is Call of Duty. They buy that game and they're like, I know what I'm going to get. I know this game's going to get content. I know that I'm going to have friends to play with. So that level of certainty, I don't think people weigh that in as much as they should. There's a reason why people buy Madden every year, FIFA every year, NBA 2K. Like, I always was fascinated by that, despite the fact that there are people who spend $30,000-$40,000 in additional microtransactions on those games. And yeah, those are real life numbers. But people buy them because they think they feel safe with them. They buy Call of Duty because they feel safe with it. Battlefield, as much hype as it is getting, how many people felt burned with 2042 and the reputational damage that happened? As much as Call of Duty has gone through reputational damage, when I played Warzone recently, and yes, it is a shit show, there were a lot of people wearing the Beavis and Butthead skins, wearing the, what is the Seth Rogen skin, Snoop Dogg, all this stuff, and those skins are not cheap. Like, I remember when I played Call of Duty Call of Duty WW2, there was a skin that cost $40, and it literally just looked like a generic armor. Like, it literally just generic armor over a character, and it was $40. And I saw people who bought it and were playing the game actively. So when it comes to that, that's, I think, is where we should talk about that. Like, Battlefield 6 could get more sales number, but overall revenue, I would give it to Call of Duty. Like, I think Call of Duty is just going to succeed in that because there's another core system, and that is the sunk cost fallacy. Yes, not all the skins that you purchase in Call of Duty transfer to the next game. In fact, they have an icon showing you where you can play which skins on which game. And usually it is, Warzone is a free-for-all for everyone, but for the most part, for the core game like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops 6, you can only use those skins so much. Like, you'll be lucky if they're available for the next iteration of game. Chances are they're not. They keep them isolated because these games are on a 3-year dev cycle, as far as I remember. Right now, there's someone working on whatever the next year Call of Duty is going to be. This year it's going to be Black Ops 7, and next year it could be a new, I don't know, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare. It could be another Black Ops game, which actually that is pretty surprising. I thought they would do something within the Modern Warfare franchise, but that could be the next game that's coming out right now. You guarantee it's being worked on right now, so when this game releases, the next year they'll have the next Call of Duty. So when it comes to just overall profit, Call of Duty is not going anywhere. It's going to surpass Battlefield in money easily. In PR, I think Battlefield has won this because we've seen this before with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare versus Battlefield 1. Now, Battlefield 1 won the PR race. As far as I can tell, it won the sales race because they sold over 15 million copies. I couldn't find an exact sales number for Infinite Warfare, but as far as I can tell from physical reports and what people are reporting, it did sell less than any other game in the Black Ops franchise. And ironically, Infinite Warfare, I would argue, is one of the best modern-day Call of Duty games ever made. Not in terms of multiplayer, I can't speak for that because when I played the multiplayer, everyone was sweats. Basically, they were dominating me every game. The zombies, or I believe it was the zombies, I think it was aliens that. But regardless, that also were a bunch of people who were just completing Easter eggs left and right like nothing. But the campaign was vastly superior to Battlefield 1. Granted, Battlefield 1's campaign was just a series of short stories, but the campaign for Infinite Warfare, I swear I'm saying this in a way that's actually authentic, it is one of the best Call of Duty campaigns ever made. It's the one with Jon Snow, and it really did do things that I was shocked about. It had character development, it had gritty realism, it had actual conflicts of morality when it came to the warring factions. So it actually was a really good game. It was basically Killzone in a lot of ways. Like, they basically, I would say, replicated the narrative for Killzone, but it worked. Like, I hate to say it, but it really worked. And a lot of Call of Duty games tend to be very generic, but Infinite Warfare is literally a diamond in the rough when it comes to that, and it's vastly superior to Cold War, despite what the Ackman said. I don't know what copium he was smoking with that game, but it was definitely better than Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6 was okay, but I think Infinite Warfare is still the superior game. But when that happened, Battlefield 1 won all the PR, like, they won all the PR races. Everyone loved it. The trailers speak for themselves, but Infinite Warfare still went on to sell pretty decently, and I would say over time, with the back catalog, as I stated, there are people who are still buying that game, whereas Battlefield 1, how many people are still buying Battlefield 1, even though that game is really good. Like, the multiplayer for Battlefield 1 is really, really good. You play that game and you're like, this game released over, like, I think 5-6 years ago, and it still looks superior than most games that are released in the modern day. I'm not trying to knock Battlefield 1, but when it comes to back catalog of Battlefield games, Call of Duty just has it won, and not to mention the microtransactions, which also don't go down in price, which are also sold at full price. And if you bought, like, Infinite Warfare, which had loot boxes in the microtransaction store, or Advanced Warfare, which that game sucked, or any of the Call of Duty games, they still have running microtransaction shops. So you're guaranteed, even if they make one sale a month or a year, that is literally just money being made for a game that is essentially dead because they've moved on to the next game. Like, every year they're like, okay, we've released all the content for this game, focus on this game, we'll put a skeleton crew on this one until finally no one cares. So I do think that Battlefield 6 will succeed against Call of Duty this year, but in the long run, like, they'll win the sprint, but in the long race, Call of Duty is going to win. It's not going anywhere. I still think it's going to be the same old, same old. It's like when Microsoft took over Activision Blizzard. A lot of people thought there was going to be change. Phil Spencer, I remember him saying this, was that they were going to focus more on developing each individual game instead of releasing yearly Call of Duty games. Guess what they did? They went back to releasing yearly Call of Duty games with all the same issues that happen always. Well, I will give Black Ops 6 this, like, even though it's a game that always requires online function, which is complete BS, at least it worked on launch. Like, I will give it credit on that. It worked at launch. There was no issues, at least from my experience playing on Xbox. I even played it on Game Pass. So, yeah, I will give it credit on that. But I generally think that Battlefield is going to do great now, but Call of Duty is going to win in the long run. But that's just my opinion based on everything we've seen in the past. Like, Battlefield still struggles to keep up with Call of Duty, and even if they win the court of opinion when it comes to gamers, eventually Call of Duty is just going to release year after year after year new Call of Duty games. That game is going to sell 10 million copies. That next year, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 69 is going to sell millions of copies, and then Black Ops 7 is going to have massive amounts of microtransactions which people are going to buy with every collab you can possibly imagine, and then it's just going to be business as usual. But that's my opinion on it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, what you think about this. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on this. Like, dislike, your choice. Once again, hope you have a wonderful day.